And Johnny, let's move on into our last discussion, and it's a Star Wars discussion. Star Wars Episode 9. We're expecting to get to that at the end of the year, and we kind of got a little theory in mind. This is coming from ScreenRant.com. They have an article that says Star Wars 9 theory. Kylo and Rey, or Rey and Kylo's Force connection will bring true balance. I want to ask you this. I kind of took their question and rephrased it on our outline sheet, so I'm going to make it correct here. The theory and the question I want to ask you is, do you think Rey and Kylo Ren are going to be, I said originally, true balance to the Force, but just in general, are they going to bring true balance at the end of Episode 9?
Debatably, yes. I mean, as of now, and this is obviously we don't have a lot of answers to what's going to go into the storyline of Episode 9 yet. You got only one Jedi. I'm going to call them Jedi and Sith, even though we've kind of like
Distanced ourselves
from that actual faction. But it's easier to say than light user and dark user.
Yeah.
So we got
and then we got gray users as well.
Great. That's called a gray Jedi.
Gray
Ricky.
Jedi.
Got ourselves a light user and a dark user, and right in between are the gray Jedis.
Exactly.
Paint our happy little lightsaber.
Bob Ross.
Even though I sound a little bit more like Matthew McConaughey.
I thought something totally different.
I feel like I sound more like Matthew McConaughey.
I thought a lowered voice. Who was the housekeeper in Split in the Monster's Head?
Oh God, I don't remember.
The older lady who was very young and proper.
Oh, that's not the housekeeper. That was she was in
what
charge.
Was her name?
I can't remember her name though.
That's the image I got when you were saying.
I was more
lower
so,
voice.
I realized I'm like it was sort of
all right.
It was like halfway.
Matthew McConaughey's here.
It was halfway between Matthew McConaughey and his new commercials and
the car
Bob
commercials.
Ross, the new car commercials.
The best thing about this swimming pool is I'm just gonna jump right in. All right.
But anyways, I'm gonna use Jedi and Sith throughout this, just so you guys know.
That's the main point after our Matthew McConaughey kind of aside there.
Anyways, when I say Jedi Sith, that's just for reference of light user, dark user. I'm not. I know we've distanced, just so no one in the comments goes, they're not Jedi and Sith anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So
explanation set.
Remember that, please. I beg you. I don't want to see that comment below because I know. I already know.
Somebody's gonna jump ahead. And
they're gonna jump ahead and say it anyways. I know.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So we got Rey as a light user, and Kylo Ren. Wow, that was bad. As a dark side, as a Sith.
Yeah.
Jedi and Sith. We got Rey as a Jedi.
Thank you.
Kylo Ren.
You're like,
Sith.
I'm gonna go Jedi as Sith. Jedi
and then I said
Sith,
light user.
Light user. I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you go. But
we got Rey as a Jedi. Kylo is Sith.
There you go.
And it's gonna that connection is gonna either I would say it's one of two things. They are siblings because you can kind of see the same general idea with Luke and Leia, whereas they can somewhat communicate, but like it wasn't like bam, we're Skyping. Like they describe in there.
Skyping, man.
Well, it was what they described in the article for one, but two, literally it was like Skype. They like were showing, they like saw each other there.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. It's like, so they're either siblings or the connection that is Kenobi and Skywalker is that tight between them that these are the last two. And it's supposed to be like the Sith had a long time rule of two. Well, as of now, we only have two Force users known in the universe. And literally, I love this picture that they put up there because it is perfect description of yin and yang. Because there are some dark things in Rey's head that like she wants answers to, and if she were to go the selfish route of the Sith, she would use the dark side to find those. Whereas, yeah, he killed his own father, but he still can't let go of the light.
I am gonna do this. I am gonna say the answer to the question is no.
Yeah.
They will not bring true balance to the Force. The reason why is there's the first thought in my head. You can't, in a Star Wars movie, you can't bring true balance to the Force. You just can't, because it's kind of like life.
Yeah.
Where our life that we live in is never going to be perfect.
True.
It is never going to be perfect. Like, we love a peaceful world. And yes, the thing is that we want people to be good to each other. But there will always be, from what I've learned from Star Wars, what I've learned from comic books, what I've learned from movies, there will always be good people and there will always be bad people.
Yeah.
And then there will always be people in the middle that are like, I'm a good person, but fuck it, I'm not taking it anymore and I'm going to cross the line. Or like, I'm a bad person and I'm sorry for what I've done, I'm going to cross over. So there's the middle of people switching back and forth, but there will always be a good and a bad. Like, nobody's ever going to be 100% good. And I get this as saying that both of them are kind of going to bring it together. But if you do that now, unless you're saying Star Wars 9 is going to be the last Star Wars movie we ever do, it sets you up for, I know that they've said this will end this timeline, and the next one they do will be its own kind of story. Mm-hmm. Like, this ends the cycle that we've started with all the way back from
the Kenobi.
A New Hope. But I kind of have an issue with them bringing true balance to the Force, because then every other Star Wars movie that you do, mm-hmm. even though it's in a different time and place, is always in the past. You can never do one in the future because there's no light and dark anymore. It's balance.
But, I mean, think about it this way. True balance can just be a construct. And to them,
Explain yourself.
I'm going to.
Please. Because that did nothing for me. You know big words and me don't get along. We agree to coexist, but we don't like each other. Construct.
They use it in Green Lantern as well, so learn it.
I know they do.
Anyways, it's a construct where true balance is whatever that timeline, that era, whatever you want to call it, sees true balance to be. And to me, the yin and yang that they're throwing up there is absolutely perfect, because it's not of like, okay, there's no more good and evil going on, this is just what it is. It's the ebb and flow of back and forth of good and then evil, good then evil, and like things not necessarily just balancing out, but like just wavering back and forth.
Instead of like, hey, we're on two sides, no, we can kind of work together.
It's kind of like, it's an ebb and flow back and forth.
Yeah.
It is never just a stagnant, we're right here. It is, it's fluid, it's moving back and forth. It's the ether.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's where like true balance to me is. You're going to have, it's one dark, one light, and it's the back and forth flow of it going back and forth. And that's what I'm thinking. It's like true balance. Whereas like you had, it's like a two separate things when it was the first three movies. And then you had where it was like, okay, the Jedi are the numbers. They have everything. The Sith, rule of two. But guess what? They're gaining all the power. That's where like there was an ebb and flow, and then it started to lean heavy into the Sith dark side, whereas there's a bad thing taking over. But then there's the rebellion, which is pulling it back to their side, and it keeps pulling back. The First Order pulled it back to theirs, blah, blah, and back and forth.
In my mind, I don't see true balance to the Force being the ending goal for Episode 9.
No, they have another goal in mind.
To me, the end goal is, and this is where all of this kind of pulls in, the yin and yang thing of Rey and Kylo Ren. It's to bring Kylo Ren back. He's drowning right now. Rey is going to save him, because the connection that you talk about, that the article even mentions, like Snoke, when they were in front of Snoke, Rey believes, hey, they're still good
inside of him.
Inside of Kylo. I feel like that is enough for her to, the goal is not going to be true balance of the Force. It's let's save Kylo. And that's where you can then go in a different discussion by bringing Kylo out of the darkness back into the light, much like in Kingdom Hearts, where you're pulling people out of darkness and can pull them into the light. Is that going to be bringing true balance to this Skywalker solo lineage, that we've seen from the first movie. So like this family that we've been with, Luke can then get with him
Closure,
everything is balanced because Leia's gone. You've got Han's gone. Chewie's still there, but like really it's Luke.
Yeah.
Luke is there. And I wonder if the end of episode 9 will be Kylo being saved from the darkness by Rey, and then Rey and Kylo learn under Luke to bring back the Jedi or start their own.
No, Luke became Force Ghost at the end.
Oh, that's
of
right.
8.
Did he? I forgot episode 8. That's right. You're right. However, I think he comes back and sees Rey. But
as the Force Ghost type thing,
at that point, thank you for that, because
no problem.
Episode 8, I'll be honest, I was not a huge fan of episode 8. I'll just leave it at this. Ryan Johnson and I had vastly different ideas of what we want from a Star Wars movie. Now we'll leave that at that. Had a great example for this is pod racing. But I digress. Yeah, I just think that the true goal, to keep it simple, is Rey getting pulled from the darkness. Now, do you see that as balancing everything? Maybe it can for the solo Skywalker family.
Yeah.
Because now once is lost is found, but also it brings a double kind of meaning to it, because then Kylo Ren, somebody he looked up to so much in Darth Vader, Kylo was able to come back to the light before it was too late, unlike Darth Vader. Darth Vader didn't come back to the light until he was dying and Luke had killed him.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where to go from here at the very moment, because I'm just thinking, like, to be fair, in the article...
Do you think Kylo's going to be coming back to the light or not?
I don't, actually.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, I think he's going to always... Like, they're going to show that he's always going to have that struggle or something, but I don't think he's necessarily going to, especially if they want to kind of keep this whole story run going, because even if it's like... Now, they're not going to do... I don't think they're going to do separate universe type thing. I think if anything, they're going to change, like, where in the timeline they're going to jump. Yeah, like
different points in the canon.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, if you go farther down in the timeline...
Like they did for Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, Rogue One was, like, kind of an in-between movies.
But exactly. Like, one might be, hey, while New Hope was going on, this was going on.
Okay, I get
here.
a different part of the universe.
Exactly.
There's somewhere else there. Someone else's canon. So.
Universe is huge, man.
It's true.
There are Jedis all over the place.
I meant separate universes, and like DC has multiverses.
Yeah, no,
that's
they're
why
not
going to do. I don't think they're going to do that.
Keep this universe together, but bounce around.
And then they're also they could jump in somewhere else in the timeline, because we had episode 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, then 7, 8, 9. Then we had Solo, which is like kind of an before / in between things. Kind of like somewhat, probably could be around the time the Anakin stuff was going on. Like,
I didn't think about that.
Like
you're right.
episode 2 and 3.
Yep.
It could be around that era.
Yeah. No, you're right. Could be like, you're talking like the end of Anakin before he became Darth Vader.
That's why I said 2 and 3.
You know what? I wonder, did they mention the Clone Wars during that? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Well, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was Dave and I that went.
But I had the opportunity on Netflix, and I neglected so far.
Oh, you got to see it, man. It's a good movie.
I said I neglected.
But I can't remember. Someone in the comment section help me out, because I have a bad memory. If they mentioned the Clone Wars.
I know he was going in to be a pilot for the Empire.
Wars? Okay.
But I don't, aside from that...
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Which is weird, because they're using clones, so it had to be in after the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
This is getting weird. I'm going to watch that movie so I can see what the fuck's going on.
But go ahead.
But it also says here in the article later on, the Force isn't like... And it was also stated by Luke that you don't use the Force. You don't like have the Force. The Force is all around you. So technically, if the Force wants to be balanced, that's why I go back to the yin and yang. It's not going to be like this, oh, I have this bar that's perfectly leveled. It's going to be like an ebb, like I said, an ebb and flow. When you take a...
Bingo.
Bingo, boingo.
I remembered the big spoiler for You haven't seen it. Screw it. I gotta spoil it.
You're
Are
a
you
dick,
okay
but
with
go
me
ahead.
spoiling it?
You're a dick, but go ahead.
The reason why it's actually taking place just before episode 1.
Really?
Because Darth Maul's in it.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
I forgot Darth Maul was in it. Darth Maul is in it, and he is kind of like the mastermind behind the whole plot.
Okay, don't give me any more than that. But
so it's episode 1. That's like the huge thing at the end.
There you go. See?
So yeah, I had to spoil it for you for the conversation. But yes, Solo was taking place.
But you didn't spoil enough to where I'm going to be
1.
upset about it.
Yeah, but when the reveal comes, you're going to be like, "Oh, I knew this."
Yeah, I knew
Whereas
this.
Dave and I was like, "What the fuck?" That was basically our reaction watching it in the theater. Yeah, the ham horns going off like crazy. But go ahead, what you're saying. I just had to interject.
Well,
with that.
and Luke is actually stated that you don't control, the Force is not yours.
Mm-hmm.
It is all around the universe. You're just kind of using it to do things. And so that's so the Force is not going to be balanced, or the Force is going to be balanced in the way it wants to be balanced.
Yeah.
So
it's got a mind of its own.
It's going to ebb and flow, like it said.
Mm-hmm. With me, I feel like the whole true balance concept, it's not going to happen universally because you can't.
Yeah.
You can't have a world where everything is in harmony. You need some sort of
If you stay on your own fucking planet, it can.
True. Just ask Alderaan. But I mean, is that too soon?
The area code or telephone number you have dialed is not valid. Please hang up and try again. Thank you.
Is that too soon making jokes about Alderaan getting blown up?
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
In all the wrong places.
All the wrong places.
I will say, bad move by me, but I love using that pickup line on dating apps, and I have not found the right nerdy girl to
appreciate it.
Just comes off as weird, I guess.
Hey, I'm just looking for love in all the wrong places. Well, I mean, it could be kind of weird because you know they go Alderaan.
All the wrong places.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I'm a nerd, so of course I'm going to use stupid shit like that.
Of course.
But back to what I was saying, you need conflict. So to me, the ending of Star Wars Episode 9 is going to be about, obviously, Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
But it's going to end with Kylo, where what's the ending? Is it bringing him into the light from the dark, like I talked about? He looked up to Darth Vader. He was able to do what Darth Vader never could, and that has come back to the light after surrendering himself to the darkness. But then also you have kind of the flip side on that of, will he then just dive further through, and does he become another product of the dark side? Anakin, Darth Vader, same person, but we had it twice in his life, where he came to it the first time, Episode 3. Anakin, I have the high ground. This is over. That was the first time, because he lost everything. And then the second time, he kind of turned at the end. When the mask comes off and Luke, we see his face. But it was too late. He was dead. He was dying. There was no way he was escaping that alive.
No, I think he took the mask off because he said, I want to look at you with my eyes.
Bingo.
And that's the reason he died.
Because he knew he wasn't escaping it anyways. So, hey, I want to look at you with my eyes. I don't care if it kills me.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, just take this thing off me so I can look at you with my eyes, since I'm not going to last much longer. Probably because the electrical ruined the systems and everything too.
But I mean, that's the big question for me. And that's a whole nother discussion that we can get into another day, of just Kylo Ren and his Darth Vader connection and all that. Any final thoughts that you're having about this?
I'm actually wondering where they're going to lead this to, because I for one, feel like Kylo's not going to go back to the light side. But I wonder if there's going to be any ghost forcing aside from... I feel like there's definitely going to be something from Luke.
Yeah.
Some force ghosting, but... it sounds weird. But I wonder if they're gonna wonder if they'll throw like a little nightmare scene at Kylo, where it's his whole almost like his whole,
kind of like how he used to see the one where it was the burning wreckage and he came to kill Luke.
Yeah,
he did train under Luke.
He did train under Luke, but I almost wonder if it's gonna be like a nightmare scene, almost like him starting to doubt the dark side, because maybe it'll be and it would be a simple thing for them to do, show Darth Vader admitting going back to the dark side on his deathbed.
And Mark Hamill is listed as the cast on IMDb.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be almost. I wonder if there will be anything, because that would be a cool concept to throw in there.
Apparently, there's also going to be archive footage from Carrie Fisher as well.
Oh wow!
Because it says Carrie Fisher, Layla Organa.
Leia
and then
Organa.
It says archive footage, so they're going to use archive footage for Leia. But yeah,
Obi-Wan, you're my only hope.
that would be a callback.
I think I thought I saw something about that, but I could be wrong.
But yeah, no, you're gonna get Mark Hamill is in it, so I'm assuming maybe Star Ghost, if not even like a flashback for Rey.
Could be.
Maybe Rey has a dream where that's how Luke comes to her.
Either Force Ghost or
form.
But I wonder, like I was trying to say, Kylo Ren has like a nightmare sequence, kind of putting doubt again into the dark side of it, where it's like he sees that. Remember this, like we were just talking about, where Darth Vader renounces the dark side on his deathbed, and he like wakes up going, like wondering if like what that meant, and hoping that doesn't, like almost shaking the foundation of why he's Sith in the first place.
True.
That'd be kind of cool construct to throw in there, but
I think
concept to throw in there.
I think framing this movie mostly around Kylo Ren would not be a bad idea.
It wouldn't.
Like, I mean, Rey, I get it. Like, Rey's the tool to bring him to the light, but like, Kylo Ren is such an interesting character.
Yeah, let's finish like kind of his arc at least.
Plus, Adam Driver's been doing great.
Yeah,
like with that, plus the other movies we saw him in. I can't remember what was the one we saw him in about the heist at the. Oh, Channing Tatum was in it.
Lucky something, isn't it?
Was that Lucky 7?
Lucky Logan?
That was it. Lucky Logan. Like in that, he was a totally different movie than Star Wars.
Yeah.
His character had the prosthetic arm.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
So, dude, Lucky Logan. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. But that's going to do it for the Rick and Johnny podcast. Make sure to check us out everywhere you can find podcasts. Podcast services around the world, youtube.com/Most Valuable Podcasts Reel, at Most Valuable Pod Podcasts, mostvaluablepodcasts.com. Yeah, look at us at podcast.com. We just have it now. Mostvaluablepodcasts.com. Make sure to support us on Patreon. New rewards coming April 2nd. Make sure to help us support there. We can't do what we do without the help from our patrons. Also, make sure to give us that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. Make sure to check out our Dumbo review also. But I am done giving you guys homework to do. Make sure to keep it on. But as always, have a good day, everybody.